Entertainment Network.
Reese. The talk is still real. We still on the corner. We gonna touch on some topics.
SKN, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, it's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talking.
Reese. The talk is still real. We still on the corner. We gonna touch on some topics.
It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talking.
Check it out, you know, in tune.
My daddy made this beat.
Yo, check it out, you know, in tune to the dynamic duo. Reese and Ira, on the corner, real talk corner.
Real Entertainment Network.
Reese. The talk is still real. We still on the corner. We gonna touch on some topics.
SKN, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, we got topics. Let's have a discussion. The people got questions. The people want answers. Yeah, it's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talking.
Reese.
Dynamic duo,
Talk is still real. We still on the corner.
real talk
We
corner.
gonna touch on some topics.
It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. It's real talk. It's real talking. Real talk. It's real talking. Real talking.
Check it out, you know, in tune.
Read Reese and Ira. Right here in Real Talk Corner. Reese.
Again, hombre.
No, you know. Hey, Reese. You know, I was talking to you the other day and said, I wait in life for the month. That's crazy. This is the 27th. I want to say good night to Laurette.
Blessings.
Bless up, always. Yeah, it's like 27th of August, and we you sure we weren't on when we had that show? Wasn't
I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm
man.
saying? I have to be
One
honest with you.
time, man. Once.
Matter of fact, no, we not went live. We not been on no time.
That was July, the last time we were on.
Yeah,
We talked about Culture Armor. No, because we talked about Culture Armor after Culture Armor concluded.
No.
Yeah, man. When I be wish Adele happy birthday and so.
Okay, you might have been right. Either way,
Yeah.
it's been a long time.
It was a long time. It feels like a long time, but anyway, we're here. We're here tonight.
No, it
We're
don't feel
ready.
like a long time. It was a long time. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
was definitely more than, it was about 2 weeks. We're here tonight. We just want everyone to greet everyone and everybody rock and come in and, you know, share the show, you know, so we could have this discussion. What we're going to talk about, welcome back. Welcome. You don't know. I can't teach the man style, but shout out to the dude who do the welcome back show. You know, he got his own unique style. And he message get over there. You know, the welcome
You
back.
can't give the man vibes, man. You can't do that.
No. Could never,
You can't do
ever,
that.
ever, ever.
You can't. You
Ever,
can't do
ever,
with that. You can't do with that.
Yeah. Well, I want to shout out everybody who's showing love in the chat right now. So shout out to Javan. Shout out to Loretta.
Bless up.
You know what I mean? Just press the little share button, the like button. Let's get it going. You know, we
Rock
we,
and come in,
we
man. Rock and come
appreciate
in.
we appreciate the support. We got some things to talk about. You know what I mean? We got some new day things. Some, of course, one of the pressing issues out there right now is crime and entertainment. I put some names up there too, so you got like Young Thug, Vybes, Kartel, Buju, and Beres. Okay, I tell him put on his shirt. He losing money. Yeah, he losing money. He losing money. He losing money. Do it for him, man, and give him a percentage. You know, do it for him and give him a percentage.
Right.
It could be worse. He could be worse because guess what? He could be worse because guess what? He could do it and not give him anything at all. You know, the emphasis there that he don't put on the second welcome back is amazing. Big up yourself, Auntie. Good night. And rock and come in, rock and come in, rock and come in, rock and come in. This is August, man. August is over. Want to shout out my niece. Tomorrow's her birthday. Makara. These kids. No longer kids anymore. No longer kids anymore. Whoa. 18 years ago, she graced this earth.
You thought one of longer kids over, but you older.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, me twice she age. Twice she age. I don't know when that happened, but it happened. You know what I mean?
Just got to celebrate life, man.
That's all we gotta do. You know, anytime Jalil get pen on mic, Jalil big tune right now, be a busy signal, happy birthday.
Yeah. As you should.
Good morning.
Bless him.
Good morning. And I got to shout out Evans. This man, like, just always on point, over there in the UK, different time zone, and showing love, So shout it out. Going into the best month, September.
Me know when the father. I mean, my mother born in September, but me know when the father still.
Yeah.
I don't go little father already, but best month. The man said best month.
Best month. No. Yeah, Reese, me and you two Taurus, right?
I mean,
we understand each other very well, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we could understand, we can be stubborn, and we can say some things, and we're not going to agree, but we could live with that. You know what I mean? I might say by Reese, you talk craziness, and you might say by what you say. That make no sense. You know what I mean? But hope all is well with everyone. Hope all is well with everyone. We've had some rough times in St. Kitts and Nevis, But we ain't gonna start there. My throat needs clearing. We're gonna start right here in America. I want to start with the Young Thug case, and I like, why are we talking about Jeffrey Williams and his case, and why does that even matter? You know what I mean? It matters because this case has been going for over a year, close to 2 years now. Don't even look like it's going to be concluded anytime soon. I hear the judge mention next year and them kind of things, but the prosecution built a case around a particular witness. I can't remember his real name, but he goes by Woody. He's known by Woody. People have pretty much everybody has seen him on the internet right now. The man famous. He actually is a rapper. He didn't get famous for his rap music, but he's definitely famous for this rap trial, right? Now, the original judge in the case got recused, right? There was some mess, right? There was ex parte with the judge and the prosecution and the same witness, Woody, after he pleaded the fifth on the stand. Like, he come in as a witness, and the first thing he says, he plead the fifth. The man don't wanna. All right. We love your band. We love your band. We can talk about your band, yeah? Because we see them touring.
No. You know, change the name of the show. It's still Olympic Smarlax Ballad more. But we talk about Smarlax, so we got to talk about Smarlax all the way.
Which one says so? The two of them?
No, the post itself.
Oh, jeez.
But no
Uh,
about it, man. Anyway, we move forward.
we have to keep it going. Let me talk about it. Okay, so why am I talking about the Young Turk case? So throughout the case, a lot of people, and myself included, felt like there was some sort of biasness on the part of the judge. I don't even want to say things like that. That's a dangerous thing to say in a place like this. You know, you're accusing the judicial system of being and I mean bias. You know that whole Lady Liberty with the blindfold over her eyes and the scales and everything because justice is supposed to be blind and all that good stuff. But then you look at this case and you're like, yo, something not right with that case. Yeah, something is just not like something just is not right. You know, and there's political implications in it too. You know, we don't really like to talk politics here at Real Talk Corner unless we have a political guest. But it feeds into like Donald Trump just going through a system and a case and accusing the system of, you know, being corrupt, you know, and you know, there's the thought that black people are going to swing towards Donald Trump because they've seen Donald Trump can now speak to what they've been crying about all this time in the case, right? But anyway, they got rid of the judge, you know, after like um, probably peer pressure from his own peers because it had to be his peers them said, yo, you gotta move, and pressure from the internet because the pressure from the internet hard, you know, internet pressure hard, you know, Reese. Let me tell you, internet pressure is relentless and you can't defeat the internet. And then, you know, you saw where the Supreme Court in Atlanta stepped in, and then you know there was a motion to dismiss. He had refused. He had the motion, and he brought it up, and then he's gone. So there's a new judge. I don't even know her name. I don't even know her name, Reese. And I know you're up to date with this case. But what's your thoughts on the new judge? You have any thoughts on the new judge?
So to be honest with you, I really don't have much thoughts on the new judge. I think the new judge is just allowing the case to run through. I think where the issue is coming in right now is the fact that there was so much that happened prior to the judge getting into that position, right? And then there's a lot that's going on with the Woody situation and the testimony where he's saying that
Mm-hmm.
where the prosecutor is saying that he made statements and he's saying, well, I just made these statements so I could leave me alone. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
just made these statements because I feel like y'all were coming after me. I did,
Yeah,
and he actually said straight up, I made these statements knowing that I was telling y'all that this guy did something that you could never prove because he never did it.
yeah, yeah,
So, and if you realize to it, one of the things that he did in the hearing is that he would have listened to everything that was said before, and then they asked me a question, and he turned and he said, um, if I admit to anything, it can't be held against me. And the moment they said it can't be held against, he said, I did the shooting.
yeah.
Yeah, I was the one who shot at this barber shop.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, not just he
Right?
and somebody else, right? So he got
Yeah, well,
immunity and he said Reese. Let's say he said Ira Reese. That other person then got immunity and I will continue.
yeah, right. So I think there's a lot of little things at play
Mhm.
when it come to that situation. You know what I mean? The case is it's a tough case to listen to because it kind of show where the system kind of just went after one person,
Yeah.
and the who is the star witness is admitting, yo, I lie.
You lie.
You know what I mean? The star witness is telling you straight up. You know, and like they ask him about statements that he made to this person and that person. He's like, yo, I don't even know who I talked to. I don't know what I said. I just said what I had to say because I felt like y'all were coming after me.
Oh,
You know, so
shoot,
like
bro.
it's just a little different, man.
It is really a colorful case. It's like he said on there, he said, look, y'all need to leave me alone. You know, I lied. You know, I used to just lie, because of myself, I own it. He said, I used to just tell them what they wanted to hear so that I could get out. They said they didn't want me, they want big fish, you know, and I just tell them what I want to hear. But with that said, I just saw something kind of weird today. I was looking at a clip of the case. And so now Woody is being cross-examined by the defense, right? All this time he was being, questioned by the prosecution. Now he's being cross-examined by the defense. I heard like the defense ready now, bringing forth the question. Before he could even ask the question, I hear objection. Some mumbling, you really got a real reason to the objection. And you know what the judge said, Reese? This is what the judge said. Sustained. Oh wait, I think so. He hasn't asked the question yet. And I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. I couldn't even wrap my head around you sustain the objection even before the question was presented. And then you said it. And then it's like to me, this system really, we really in trouble with this system. You know, I heard objection without any reason of objection, and it was sustained. Like just objection, sustained. You know, and for me, it gives me a very unsettling feeling because,
So, so here's the
hmm?
question now.
Yeah,
The question really is: was removing the judge who was initially there a good idea? Because it looked like six and a half a dozen at the
at the
same
same
thing.
thing, at the same thing, and that's actually what I was getting at, and I don't, at the end of the day, I guess you are convicted by a group of your peers. And I know in some cases the judge can instruct the jury to bring in whatever verdict, however the case. There was even a part in there where the judge was explaining to the jury, like, yeah, I know that um, all of these people could get convicted of murder. And it was just confusing. Like the way how, and she even said to the jury, I know I might not be explaining this in the best way. And I'm like, you're supposed to be explaining it in the best way. This is your job. You're supposed to make it absolutely clear for them because in order to convict, you need to have um no, and like there shouldn't be any doubt to bring in a guilty verdict. So if you're explaining and then you're creating even doubt in your explanation, how you can even bring in a guilty verdict after that? And these are the kind of things that kind of scare me, you know? I ain't even gonna tell a lie. I ain't even gonna tell a lie because Young Thug has money, right? Young Thug has money, so he's able to afford a stellar attorney. And I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not here to judge him, but I'm going based on what I'm seeing in the case, and it is frightening, right? So then we could fast forward from Young Thug, unless you want to say something, and then talk about the next artist, which is Vybes Kartel. You know,
No, I think the situation is just a tricky one. I think really and truly the goal of this trial is to drain Young Thug pockets.
it
And
looks so.
I think once they realized that his liar was his liar was loyal to the cause, right? Because remember he lied, he end up um getting held in contempt.
Yeah,
So
I,
I think once they realize that they're trying to figure it out, but I think at some point they need to declare mistrial, not
yeah,
just drop the charges, because I don't see it going any good direction.
yeah. I mean, yeah, he is loyal because when they had holding in when they held him in contempt and he was supposed to report to jail every weekend, he just wanted he all he said was, if there's one thing, just put him in the same cell as Jeffrey Williams. He wants to be with his client because he needs to prepare for his case. Yeah, and I'm like, damn. I'm like, I don't know, like if he's getting publicity a part of the payment because Isaac Buchanan yesterday price is not today's price. So you'd also know it's probably going to be the same for this judge if he gets Young Thug off of this case. Dealing with a high profile client such as him, anybody of that stature would go to him in that situation there. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? And there's a lot of marketing value in what he's doing right now. But this is also tying him up and other cases that he probably has. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out because it's more of a system thing rather than the case. Because you have a witness understand that basically is saying, I can't recall anything. They can't recall anything. Woody can't recall anything at all. Man can't remember anything. And he also saying, but I tell lie. I used to lie to the police all the time, and yet still they're forcing the case. So, and that's the only set of evidence that seem like they have the whole case built on that. And this case is still going on and still looking like they want to push it on. Taxpayers' money going down the drain is my opinion. But you know how that go. Vybes Kartel is free. His show is the 31st of December. Tickets goes on sale 31st of August at 3 a.m. in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, as he put on his Instagram page. Now, Beres, in all goodness, I was fully ready to go see Vybes Kartel in his first concert. And fully dedicated. I still have a ticket on hold, to be honest, you know. But that date is a difficult date. You think that was a smart move by the promoters?
Yeah.
The 31st?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tell me why.
Listen. There isn't a date that's a bad date. Just so you understand, there isn't a date that's a bad date. It's a bad date for you as a patron who want to decide you want to spend time with your family, you want to be in the near with your family. But a lot of people don't think that way. It's not everybody won't think that way. That show is marketed to, and it's also marketed to the outsiders. It's marketed to the international market. If you're not a big deal into Christmas, New Year's, and that kind of thing, you know, forward. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Don't think it's gonna affect his sales at all?
Not at all. It's not going to affect your sales either
Why?
because New Year's is a holiday. So you could call out for 2 days and the third day is a holiday. You're good.
Oh,
And New
okay.
Year's is a universal holiday. Well, so you're good. The money that you
I
make,
can't
you
argue.
gonna make
I
money.
can't argue. I can't argue with you. I mean, he don't gain money. Probably 4 million US. You know what I mean? A lot of people was like, "Oh, why did he go with a promoter? Why didn't he put on his own show?" Blah 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 blah. But I think I've seen
No,
some people put some good
a
good
show of that
points.
magnitude, you need a promoter. You need a
Yeah.
promoter. A show of that magnitude, you need a promoter, especially because he can't do the show by himself, right? He gonna need a lot of other acts to fill up time slots. He can't do that by himself. He need a promoter to handle that. You need a promoter like the Joe Bogdanovich, who's the one who's actually gonna do the show, John Scottaborough. You know what I mean? Them man they do really some first, them man accustomed to the big shows. So it's not like something new to them.
Yeah. And as some bloggers has point out, the shows now get lock off neither. You understand?
No.
The shows now get lock off. The shows are got till morning. You know what I mean? So it could also be
Yeah, but
he
you
went
also
that
got to
route
remember,
there.
also got to remember that when Joe does a show, he gets government sponsorship as well. So the government is vested in in his events. You know what I mean? When he does Reggae Summerfest, the Board of Tourism of Jamaica is a sponsor.
Apparently he has some sort of relationship with some high official as well too, eh?
I mean,
You know,
I don't mind that.
yeah. So yeah, I mean he definitely I don't know if he's gonna get sponsorship, but I know Jamaican tourism is going to be up and up coming December. You know, I don't know if the hotels are ready for the overload, and I
I'll
don't know
I'll tell you so.
if the planes
I'll
them
tell
going
you
open up
something.
flights. Well,
I'll, I'll tell you something. Jamaica needs to give as much sponsorship as possible because if they slip, say Vince is going to take the whole show.
it's too late for that.
You could say no. It could never be too late because we have seen shows that get cancelled the day before. It is never too late. It is never too late. It's never, ever too late. And St. Vincent has an international airport with direct flights from Miami. It's never too late.
That would be a problem. That would be a problem.
Be a
I would
problem for what?
definitely be
In terms of what?
for Jamaica, there would be a problem.
It's a problem for Jamaica, so Jamaica needs to play ball and give Carter what he wants and what he requires. Simple. I don't know if you realize Kartel has dropped an ad for St. Vincent tourism.
Saint
You see that?
Vincent.
You saw it?
Yeah.
You saw that? Yeah,
Yeah, I
Kartel
saw that.
seems to be an ambassador for St. Vincent. You notice that St. Vincent
Yeah,
playing a game. That man is giving Kartel what he wants. And
yeah.
Kartel realizing, hey, if Jamaica can give it to me and St. Vincent give it to me, one Caribbean, same blue passport,
Mm-hmm.
one carry come. I see nothing wrong with that.
The man like they open them man in welcome arms. Man, I got lunch and dinner with the prime minister and these things is like, yeah.
I mean,
You saw that?
the man is meeting with dignitaries that regular people can't meet, right?
You saw that Trinidad artist got his show cancelled because he was barred entry into Bahamas.
Yeah, it came on 6.
Keman Six. You've listened to Keman Six music before?
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with them buying came on 6. It's came on 6. And the reason I see nothing wrong with them buying came on 6. Initially, I saw a problem with
Mm-hmm.
it, right? When he first set he was traveling and the first set of bar and that happened. But Kim and Six has to understand that as an artist, at some
Mm.
point you have to be able to separate your lifestyle from your job. And there seems to be a correlation between his lifestyle and his job. I don't blame anybody for that. Right? At some point he got to realize that this lifestyle is detrimental to the job. He got to make a
Mm.
decision.
But is it possible at this point?
Um it is possible, but he have to do he have to publicly denounce everything that he's attached to. So the whole gang lifestyle and all of that, um the whole six gang that he's a part of, and the whole beef with the Muslims and the seven gang and all that, he got to denounce all of that. He will have to
So he can
publicly do
just
it.
name Keman? No man. Keman, you can just name Keman. The man got name Keman Six. But it doesn't work like that, though, Reese. Once you're in, blood out, right? You don't just walk out of the gang, right? It, it's more of
No, I disagree, and I'll give you a good example. Prince Swanee
trip.
is a Prince Swanee is a big part of the
Yeah,
Rasta City gang. But you know what? Where is
but
Prince Swanee do?
he
Prince
only
Swanee
seek
leave
asylum.
Trinidad. He left Trinidad. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Sometimes, because you're right, no blood in, blood out. If you can't reach me, then ain't no blood in, blood out. Sometimes you have to make a decision for yourself, for the betterment of his career. Because remember, this is what people don't understand. In entertainment, there's no social security, there's no pension. You have to work for every dollar you're gonna make in your life. At some point, you have to realize I have to separate.
Prince Swanee is seeking asylum, Reese.
Yeah, he's seeking asylum, and what did he do? Leave Trinidad.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
that's
is
just what
is he
happens.
gonna get it?
At least he tried. At
Mm.
least he has tried.
Well, maybe he ain't get the escape that he need.
Right? And so sometimes that's just what you have to do. You have to make an attempt. That's just what it is.
Vibes. Vibes. It seemed like a lot of these art, and I don't understand. But if anybody realize, and a lot of people like, who the hell them I talk about? But we spoke about Young Talk, we spoke about Vibes Cartel, we spoke about Keman Six, Prince Swanee, and all of these are entertainers. And all of these are entertainers, seen by a large part of society as role models. And they're expected to set a certain example for our children, and people get upset with them because they produce what they produce, their art, right? And their art form is sometimes very graphic and violent, you know similar to like Hollywood movies. When you watch a Hollywood movie that teach you, even Batman, when the Joker come in and the Joker rob the bank, and these different kind of things and stuff, somehow movies don't get the same sort of backlash as music. It seems like
No,
there's some sort of,
no, I disagree.
yeah,
I
okay.
disagree. Because we're looking at it as a direct art. But the issue that we're not speaking of is these individuals, when they remove themselves from the art, they're still a part of the lifestyle,
May I reach there yet? May I
right?
reach there yet? You
And
just cut out my intro. That's the problem. Me
yeah,
segue. Me
yeah,
in me
no,
segue and you just cut off me segue. You
no,
know what I
you,
mean?
you're taking too long to reach, man. Yeah?
Like,
You're
yo,
taking long to reach the same
like
point, man.
what? I mean, I try to talk about me segue and try to get into the segue of it. You know what I mean? And the correlation between certain artists and music, the art, the music, and like you said, the gangster lifestyle. The real lifestyle. Now, Reese, is there you find that what's your actually what is your thought on that? Go ahead. You had already cut in, so go ahead. The floor is yours.
No, no, I think that we have to understand that there's art and there's life, right?
Yeah.
And we always say life
Mhm,
imitates art, art imitates life, and I get it. But at some
mhm,
point, we have to be able to turn off the art and live real life. I give you a good example. Al Pacino, Scarface. When you see Al Pacino on the street, Al Pacino is not portraying the Scarface movie. He's not walking around with the guns. He's not being accused of any of these things. When you look at these artists that are singing ABCD, when you see them, they're still in regular life. And at
mhm,
Thursday afternoon, they're still living the lyrics, right?
mhm,
And that's where the problem coming. When you start to hear when your name getting called and everything, there's a reason why.
mhm,
And
mhm,
that's where the problem coming. So a lot of them who start out in the music, they ain't start out as that, But then as they start to go through the process, they then start to live the lifestyle that they sing about. And
mhm.
that's a problem.
So you think the music is an influence on them, and then they became in my opinion,
I
a lot of them it's the other way around. For me, in my
I don't think the
opinion, a lot
music
of
is an
them come
influence.
from a lot of them come from the streets and they sing about that and they actually live that lifestyle before they do it.
No,
Let me think.
you could
What
come
about
from the
that?
streets and I agree. Right? Let's use 50 Cent for example. 50 Cent come from the street and right, 50 Cent come from the street, 9 bullets,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. We understand.
uh,
But what happened once 50 Cent made the money? The lifestyle had to be separated. So now you have 50 Cent and you have Curtis Jackson. There has to be some separation,
mhm.
right? At some point, you have to realize, hey, this lifestyle is not conducive to success. And some people don't understand that you have to cut off the lifestyle.
And you think
The lifestyle has to go.
you think the lifestyle is fully cut off, or do you think that it's just that they're at a distance from it now? And because if you look at what's going on with like Young Thug case, the charges are conspiracy. Even with Vybes Kartel, the charges it was conspiracy, right? So it's more of, yeah, you're not doing the crime, but you're calling the shots. Well, technically you're doing the crime if you're calling the shots. You feel like them man really to truly be aware, because you can't just abandon the streets. You're gonna eat your life. You still gotta maintain your respect in the streets. You can't maintain your respect in the streets if you abandon the streets. Why do
I
it?
mean,
Some people might think it's not important to maintain respect in the streets. It's almost sound like that's what you're saying, but I think they
yo,
differ.
I give you a good example, right? Who maintain respect in the streets? Raging King. You know who Raging King is? In a wheelchair. Can't walk. You know who got respect in the streets? Movado. You know who Movado is? In America, can't go back to Jamaica. Movado's
He
son
say
is
he
in
going
jail
back. He
for a
say he
shot.
going back. He say he going back.
Movado's son is in jail for a shot that he apparently called. At some point, we have to realize, and you know what the other thing is still? The people they keep around them, right? The people they keep around is also a part of the issue. Let's use 6ix9ine for example. 6ix9ine, from all accounts, 6ix9ine wasn't a gangster, Suddenly now he link up with these guys who's a part of the Bloods, and he became a Blood overnight. What we talking about? That's not it. Sometimes you have to distance yourself from these things. You have to, because that will be a downfall.
I mean, when you look at somebody like 6ix9ine, 6ix9ine, you could always see look like he used to get bullied as a kid. So now that he got certain man, that's sure he respect and he feel like they're with protection and so on. He wanna be a part of that. And that is a lot of the case why kids join gangs too, because you've heard the accounts of, I've been bullied and they join the gang for protection, you know, because people have beat them up, whatever the case may be. So all I'm thinking is that there are cases where you have movie actors who are like, we spoke about it right here with the art imitate life, life imitate art show that we did. If you never saw that one, you know, you might want to check it out right here in Real Talk Corner. Reese and I spoke about it, but we spoke about a few people, but I could recall that one from Boys in the Hood that shot Ricky. You know what I mean? Now, Susie, shout out to Susie, says some of their audience try to become the characters in their songs. Likewise, some of the audience try to become the characters in movies. You know what I'm saying? When you see kids playing cowboys and Indians, that come from the movies. I mean, that had so much influence that it became a part of our culture. St. Kitts and Nevis had cowboys and Indians. To this day, we saying bring back cowboys and Indians. Not even thinking about the racial implications of cowboys and Indians. And we want to embrace that as our culture. You know, the term Indian for some is offensive because, you know, they're not Indians, they're Americans, right? And what happened with the cowboys and Indians, you know, as they call them, but the Native Americans, there's stories to that. But you see us even brought that into our culture and it became a part of it, right? So who is saying that some of that gunplay didn't start the way of interest of guns, and then that now grew into something? It only takes a mustard seed. The mustard seed is small, and then you get this huge tree, a small spark. You know.
So the interest of guns part. You know, I'm not a big supporter of that.
Wow. That wow.
You know, because I always tell people like at some point as an adult you make a decision on your own,
Yeah.
right? And at some point you have I'm not going to go back and blame this and blame that. No, you know what? You're 21, you're 22, you can make a decision on your own. You make a decision for your life, right? You talk about the interest of guns. Nobody love gun more than me. Me love, but you know what? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in that lifestyle. And I listen to the same music, eh? You know
Agreed.
what I mean? I listen to Chicago drill and them Jacksonville drill and stuff like that.
Agreed.
But with that being
Agreed.
said, I wake up in the morning and put on my uniform and go work. You know what I mean? I'm not out here trying to see who house I could run in and who care I could shoot up. You know what I mean? So I think
Agreed.
at some point we also have to put the onus on the individuals who want to live this life.
Agreed. well, I'm gonna go a step further, right? And I'm gonna say our main problem with crime, and nobody wanna talk about it, right? The main problem with crime is education. A lot of the individuals who are tossed into the gangster lifestyle, if you really check where they're at in terms of from a educational standpoint, they're really low on the scale. Hold on. It came across to me even today. I saw this video, a reel, and if you don't want to believe me, just check it out. Just check it out. It came across to me on a reel, right, where they were showing artists, rap artists that graduated versus rap artists that didn't graduated. And when they spoke about the artists that graduated, you could see the difference in the music that they produce versus the music of those that didn't graduated with the 1 point something GPA. You could see the difference, like it's just day and night, right? You know, you're talking about J. Cole graduate, Drake graduate versus Blueface and why Young Boy MBA. Not saying anything against them, but you could see the difference, right? You could see the difference. I'm not saying it's the sole factor, but I'm saying it is a huge contribution to the problem, right? People who are more educated Yeah, you got some of them intelligent criminals. Like, but when you're talking about certain crimes, you gotta look at that. Just start to do the maths. Do the maths.
Mm.
Do the maths. Do the maths. Just look at it. If we were to pull the files of a lot of the youngsters that are being killed right now, and you start to see what class they left school, you would see the correlation. You would see, okay, yeah, that one you drop out, that one you come out in that farm, yeah, like fourth stream, X, boom. It's there is what
Yeah,
come true. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but what you will not do is go to
Mm-hmm.
step number 2 before step number 1.
What is that?
And I go fool me. The biggest issue is a lot of these young men are being raised by mothers.
Oh Lord.
Single mothers are raising these young men. And if you want to look at it, you can really go back and look at it, and you'll be like, yo, so before we get to the education side of it, it starts in the home. A lot of these kids are being raised by single mothers. So we're not going to throw the blame on the education system and skip over step 1 to go to step 2. I refuse to do that.
I'm not
So
trying to blame
if
on
you
the
no
education
no no no
system.
no 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 you said a major part of it is this and that. I am
It
telling you
says
when you look at it,
correlation.
okay.
Correlation.
So
Yeah.
the bigger correlation is majority of these individuals are raised by single mothers.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, I ain't going to say my mother was a single mother, but I lived in a one parent home for a good while, and I know a couple people that did as well, and they still came out fine. So it's not a causation. I'm talking about the correlation, and there is a correlation between that, right? The soft love of the mother, the nurturing, because it is. But I'm not gonna put the blame solely on that. I'm just saying there is a correlation between, like, if we could entice youngsters to do better, and even it doesn't have, because not everybody is going to be the sharpest pencil in the pack. We could teach them, like, here's a trade. Like, if you get them to start doing plumbing or something else, trades are very important. If you could get them involved, because the devil is going to find time. What's the saying? The devil is going to find work for idle hands, right? If you could get them
Yeah, but
involved in certain things that are going to keep them occupied and off the street, making them not frustrated. When you look at Woody, yeah, a matter of fact, it was something else that I saw when I said they went in the jail system, and most of the people them in jail, they went to remedial. They were in remedial classes. There is a strong correlation between your education level and a criminal past. No, he's saying mothers alone is his thing alone. But I can, like, Reese talk with yourself. Reese is a big man.
what I'm listen. Like even if you look at a Woody, I look at a young thug, even an NBA young boy,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the 10 years straight up. I was raised by my mother, single mother home. And that is so before we get to the education side of it, before we're not going to blame anything on we're not going to blame any external factors when within the home there's a problem. And that is why I cannot go to the education side until we fix number 1, we can't go to step number 2.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm looking at. Right? Even when you look at the King Vans and the Lil Ducks and these guys out of Chicago, the same thing they're telling you. You know what I mean? Like Duck just reconnect with the father, the father's come out of jail. So when your father was in jail for 10 years, well, you had to be him or raise him. Right? And that's the cycle I keep going on over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we at. The other thing is, so I know a lot of people who didn't necessarily come out of school the sharpest pencil, but you know what? They were willing to do something for themselves. And because they were willing to do something for themselves, they then formed their own companies, went into do different things. They didn't have to go down the violence lifestyle, the gangster lifestyle. So that is a choice as well. So I'm not going to put it on the education system because I see I know man who come out in A3 or A4, and that man is the man working strong in the construction field, and him making a lot of money. So it's also something that's within the individual to decide that this is what I want to do. I want to make a better life for me. You know what I mean?
Again,
And
again,
that's what.
again. I'm not saying the education system is causing the gangsters, them, you know. You understand? It could well be that okay, single parent mothers, they gotta work harder, so they don't have enough time to take care of their kids, and they have to work, and they don't have time to make sure that their kids are doing something more productive, and they're doing bad in school. But I'm saying there is a correlation between. I'm not even saying this is the cause of it. There's a correlation between kids who are of lower educational standards and crime.
What the man see if we could job kick somebody to the internet, you baby boy.
I mean, there are some statistic to back up what you're saying, Reese, right? And I mean, it hurts, eh? Because everybody love their mother, but there are a lot of statistics to back up what you're saying with the correlation between single home with moms versus single homes with dads and criminals. So I ain't even going to go against you. There's data to back it up, and it's there for anybody to search, right? Anybody could look it up. It is there, right? But the way how you bring it across is like that's the sole problem. That's the only problem. That's the only reason, you know.
Hold on, I
And then
never said that was the only reason. I acknowledge your reason. I just
well,
say we can't go to step 2 by skipping step 1. We have to take care of the situation inside the home before we go outside.
and I think got 4 years in juvie. Yeah, a lot like I, I, mean, I could tell you a lot. Teachers could tell you who are going to be the misfits in society. Like teachers could point them out, and teachers could say who it is. No, no, I can say this. No, I can say this. When I was in school, right? When I was in school, and I wrote my CXCs, I did 9 subjects, and I passed all 9, and I got a level 2. I got a 2, a grade 2. Sorry, a grade 2 in math. I got a grade 2 in math. And I then approach the math teacher, right, in sixth form and said, I would like to do maths in sixth form. And I was immediately met with objection. Immediately. Now, Reese, yeah, I would have had some, I got in some trouble when I was younger. Just random stuff, not no fighting, not nothing, just random stuff that I ain't even got to get into. But those were old. You're talking about the difference between me in first farm to me in fifth farm, right? And I was immediately met with objection, like no. And I've never had an interaction with this teacher before, ever, in my life. In my life, Reese. Ever had I had an interaction. I've never had a class with this teacher, Mr. Williams, Duane Williams. I never had any interaction with him at all. Zero. Right? Now, when you have those kind of factors in the system that fighting down young men who are trying to be progressive, that's a problem. Right? That's a problem because I went to him and I met with objection. Okay, so and it couldn't stop me. So I wrote maths, I failed the first mark sheet, and then I went to my mother and I was like, "Mommy, I need help." Okay, she sent me to maths class. I used to go to maths class by Talbot Glasgow. I think that's what his name was. Go back to the man and say, "Yo, I'm getting help in maths. I want to do this subject." Refuse to let me write the subject. No, I'm a different person because I ain't gonna let these man hold me down, hold me back. But I could see how a lot of young people are being fight by a system and the oppression, and they just give up and they just go the other way. They not given a fair chance. And I watched this and I experienced this for myself in more than one occasion. When I tried to write information technology, I was refused. I had to walk out. I stormed out of that teacher's office, and this one was a lady called Tian Arterton. I stormed out, and luckily Mrs. Fabs was there, and she came and she I guess she spoke to her. I got a distinction in information technology, and before that, they were telling me I can't write information technology. Right? These are the kind of factors that push youngsters, young men in particular, to certain factors in life. Because on the same hand, my wife, Chevelle, she didn't want to do math. She failed math and I hope she not vexed that may bring out she business, but it is what it is. She failed maths in sixth form and second and 6A and 6B. She doesn't like math. But Duane Williams was encouraging her. Oh yeah, continue rate it. But me, who actually wanted and seeking help outside of their system to try to do better, was being oppressed. Reese, them kind of factors there, not gonna help society. They're not gonna help the young men them either. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm seeing his picture passed all around the like he got promoted. So the system now gets worse. Right? So it's not always what's happening at home, because I had my mother at home trying to help me do what I need to do, send me to classes that I needed to do. But yet still, when I got to school, because of whatever reason, he refused to let me write the subject. You know? How am I supposed to feel as a young man? You check? If I had a different mindset, it would have been on. To this day, I'm frustrated. To this day, that thing bothered me deeply, to the point that I would just love to see this guy removed from education. Because if he's still the same person, I think he's a detriment to education, the educational system, and the young man in society. You see what I'm saying? So we can't always say it's just the parents at home, because my dad lived in St. Thomas. My mom was trained, and she gave me the help that I needed. But yet still, at school, they were fighting me down. At school. It's like they wanted to see me fail. It's like they want to see you fail as a young man. Like they want to see you fail. They want to see you destruct, just to say they were right. You see what I'm saying? These are the kind of problems we gotta deal with. These are the problems what gets me frustrated and make me feel like there is some aspect to it. We gotta look at these problems. We gotta look at these people who we got in high places. Reese, your child spend more time in school than they spend at home. Renee, when she goes to school, she spend more time. Like, what's going on right now? The way and the mindset of Renee could be highly influenced on the daycare that she goes to, because she spends more time at that daycare than she spends with you or Lisa. The same thing for my son Jaleel. So the problem, school is a home. The home is not just mommy and daddy. The whole village is now the school system. There is a part of that. And I'm sorry if I sound like a ranting, but like it just hurt me. You see that these men still in the education system, still got the ability to affect people. And then we look at youngsters, we look at talented youngsters, people who had the talent and stuff. Just life get erased. And I'm not saying it's only their fault, but they're contributing to it. And they're not even man enough to own up to what they've done. And these are not the kind of things that we try to examine. But you have to also think about it, Reese. Schools are the village. Schools are the village. Your child go to school at what time? Mine go to school about 8 o'clock, come home 5. You wake him up to get ready to go to school. You pick him up, you spend a couple hours with him, then you're ready to go to bed. So you got about 2 hours or something, maybe 3 hours with your child at max. Because guess what? We as parents got to provide for them. We gotta go out there, we gotta work, we gotta feed them. We ain't got as much time as we need. And what's when you're a single mother and the single mother gotta go out there and work because he ain't got a double income? The problem is evident. Yeah, maybe the parents them could do better, but also the teachers them ain't gonna get slide. The school system can't get slide because they're raising the kids too. Especially when you gotta send your kid to school from such a tender age when their minds so malleable. That's crazy. That's why, you know how many times these teachers say you can't. And Reese, you know, this is one of the reasons why I so respect your mother and I love your mother, because as a guidance counselor and a teacher, she would like, bro, like she was different. You know what I mean? I may try and say that because, you know me by anything, but that's for real. That's for real. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a problem, bro. Anyway, your turn. I had to fight long and hard for my daughter up to today to pass principles. Still don't. This is what I'm saying. These are the kind of problems that these are problems too. We act like teachers and all of them ain't raising your kids. They had the ability to bang a child. Like a teacher could beat a child. You could imagine my mother never banged me, but teachers don't bang me. Teachers don't bang me and my mother never bang me. Ever. My mother never banged me, but teachers don't bang me. And that's not while like Reese, answer Adele, car Adele miss I be sure the last time when I be wishing happy birthday and she never been there.
I don't know me what I mean.
No, Adele don't know me what I be.
Miss Trust is my mother.
Yeah.
They used to be the guidance counselor.
Mrs. Truss.
That's my mother.
Adele. But Reese, you know, this is the problem that I have with the educational system. And I'm saying maybe it's not a causation, but there is a correlation. You know, like they need to put space. Like, okay, we put kids in fourth stream and stuff, and rather than pump more resources in them, we turn our backs on them. Teachers not really teaching and not study them because we guess what? A lot of them got problems. So the other thing that you say, Merle trap, yeah, exactly, Merle. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Shout out
that's
to
my
her.
mother, and the other one is my auntie.
Auntie, yeah. Even smile, Adele. Yeah, you know, back to what I was saying. When you look at it from that, you know, you put kids in remedial and you put less resources to them when they actually need more resources. They need more. They need more attention. They need more around the clock. They need more behavioral thing. They need to develop things for them. They need like kids.
One more Pondon. Let me try again. Happy birthday, my friend. One more Pondon. One with a vibe. Good times in life. Next, do it again, yay.
Yeah. Okay. Big up. All right. Nadia on this show, okay? We can talk later. Love you. See, yeah, that's my little responsibility there. So when he come home, I gotta make sure I can put in my little 2 cents with him too. But Reese, that's how I feel. You know, that to me has like imagine like I'm a 36-year-old man and that thing still weighs on my mind like it was yesterday. Like every time I feel about that, I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel helpless. You know, and then I look at the media and I see these men still getting big ups and they're getting promotions, and I'm like, these men ain't even trying to help people. They're trying to help themselves, G. Themselves. They ain't really care about the younger generation. Like right now, if we really want to solve crime, we gotta start looking at these factors. Because I can tell you, right? I've heard it from a teacher before. They know who the trouble kids are. So if they know who the trouble kids are, if you have a disease, and I'm not calling them diseases, but if you have a disease, you're gonna treat it. Why are we not treating it? Why are we pushing it to this side?
I like what you say. You went on your little rant and stuff like that.
No, it wasn't a rant. It's kind
No,
of
no,
rantish, but it wasn't a rant.
I like what you say, right? But we're talking about criminals, right? So me like numbers. There was a survey that I looked at. I would have brought it up the last time. 85% of men that are locked up are raised by single mothers. 85%. Only 30, I think it was like 31 were raised by single fathers. So I am going based on the numbers, and the numbers are showing me that this is a major contributing factor, right? I just go based on the numbers, and I mean the bodies in the beds, the locked up behind bars is why I go by. So when you see a study state and stuff like that, when you see the numbers coming out of state and stuff like that, I don't think there's much that could be refuted, right? The numbers are there, the information is there, and that's why I got based on. So where we will twist and turn and everything else, and even if you want to go through, right? If you really want to pull names, if you start pulling names, you realize that hey, this and this were there. You know what I mean? This is one of the situations. You know what I mean? Now I agree with Judy that the whole system need revamping. I totally agree. You know what I mean? But until the system is revamped, you know what I mean, we got to do what we have. But men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie, and I just go based on the numbers. You check? You mute, Ira.
I understand, and I did tell you that there are some data to back up what you've said in terms of a correlation. I mean, there is data that says education and incarceration statistics is 85% of incarcerated individuals have not completed any forms of higher education. I mean, there's that too. I'm saying it's not the cause. We like parents, like it takes a village to raise a child. So there's a lot of factors, uncles, aunts, everybody. Because if it's a single mother, in some cases, yeah, the mother like, but I don't tell me child nothing. You can't tell me child nothing. Yeah, that's totally wrong. But sometimes they need the help. Sometimes them a single mother, they gotta go work, they gotta come home, they gotta do everything. Same with single fathers. And what the fathers anyway? And the problem is a lot of the fathers them they're jail. It's a never ending cycle in some cases too. There's other factors, just where you live, just the whole idea that you haven't seen much. I had known a guy, and he grew up in a really bad neighborhood, and he ended up he had like I think he had like martial arts, and he ended up doing martial arts, right? Hold on. He had like martial arts, so he had ended up joining martial arts, and then he was able to see outside of his community. And he came back and he was telling friends of his that, yo, this is what the community like outside, like places like this exist, and they didn't believe. They don't know anything about what they're boxed in. So, they see the drug dealers, they see the killers, they see whatever, and these are the guys who making it in a life. So those are the idols. Those are the ones them. It's like Tupac saying
But
Dear
but
Mama.
but hold on.
Hmm?
What else do they see when they see that? What else do they
I
see when they
mean,
see that? No, you're right. They see that, but what else do they see?
what else do they see?
They see, they
Just
see
tell
those
me,
are the
because I'm not.
they see those are the individuals that mommy bringing home to, and you want to make mommy proud, and that's what mommy like.
I, I guess so. I mean, you could put it any way you want. Like you say, at some point in time, they could make mommy proud in another way. You know, I would hope. You know, let's see what some people saying, because There's another show coming up right after this one.
But when we get to touch Buju and Beres,
By now, we got to touch Buju and Beres. 7 minutes, we got to touch Buju and Beres, yeah.
it just look up. Really?
We got to touch Buju and Beres, yeah. Um, you know,
Where's it the rabbit hole with the details here too that follows that? Where's it the rabbit hole? I don't
you
understand.
know,
Where's the rabbit hole? I don't understand where's the rabbit hole.
come.
I mean, I don't think it should be considered a rabbit hole. I think if the data is there to back it, then I can't say it to be a rabbit hole. I don't see it as a rabbit hole. But somebody put something in the comments to show that the system needs to be revamped, and I think we both agree with that. That the system really does need to be revamped.
A
Well,
lot of factors. A lot of factors.
the
A
system
lot of
definitely
factors.
needs to be revamped. You know what I mean? Completely.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
it's kind of unfair to look at it based on the U.S. stats. The system in America caters for the women, for women. So a lot of times the children do raise in a home with the mom because the state pays to ensure that moms has a home and food and her children under the condition. Okay, I want to say this, Reese. As he said that, sometimes if Section 8 housing, you can't get Section 8 with two-parent homes in some cases, right? Because the income is just too much.
Mm.
Like I remember, like these are kind of things that were put in place to keep our families from growing. The real reason, okay, Reese, let me put it in a better way so people could understand and not feel as not burden, as offended, right? Let's take out the mother part and let's just put single parent homes. And yes, there are statistics that prove that when men raise as a single parent, their kids don't go the same way. And that's a different conversation. But single parent homes in general is a problem, right? That family structure, that removal of the family structure is a problem. Because that removal of the family structure is a problem, right? We got to look at the factors that cause so many single family homes. And there are quite a few factors that cause single family homes. Okay. I mean, look at we have some examples here of single parent moms and stuff who's done well. We got some example. We could talk about Jasmine, you know, the like shout out. So I think that's where a lot of the hurt gonna come from, because it feels like a lot of them are trying, and now it feels like you're putting the blames on them, and that's gonna hurt. But there are some data to back it up. I would say that,
No, but
and I think
listen,
it's a
let me tell you
correlation though.
something. Hold on. Let me tell you something, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's never going to be all women ain't fail their children. I never said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to those who feel like that's what I'm trying to say, that's not what I said. But I hit dog and holler. You know what I mean? So if you feel like you get hit and you holler, I apologize, but
Mm-hmm.
because everybody is not bad. You know what I mean? There's some people that really go all the way through and really do everything for the kids, but we're not going to stand back and act like, if we have to go through, and let's say, for example, let's just pull roughly the last 20 murders, right? Just pull them, right? Pull five from Jamaica, five from Trinidad, five from AFL, and you start to look at them
Mm-hmm.
within that lifestyle. Majority of them
Yeah,
within lifestyle fall within that thing, that threshold.
yeah.
And
I
I
don't
mean,
think they're
I'm
gonna
not
fall
here,
in the educational threshold as well too.
you know what I mean? So I am not here to say that, like, and that's why I keep saying the educational thing is not true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying we have to deal with the situation within the home before we deal with everything else outside the home. No,
Oh,
if you inside your home, you put up and some parents really they try. Some parents are really try. You know what I
yeah.
mean? We have also seen situations where parents try their best. You know what I mean? And it just ain't work out. but at least we could say this individual tried the best. They did what they had to do. But we also know situations where individuals just let their child run loose.
But Reese, like I tell you, your child spend more time in the educational system. It's institutional. Send them to jail, actually. So like, it's weird. It's weird.
Yes,
I
yeah,
saw a
yes,
video.
you are totally correct, right? School is
Yeah,
set up like jail. Even when you look at the yellow bus, when you
the
go jail,
yellow
there's a white
bus.
bus, same bus, same bus.
Yeah, it's same
One is yellow,
bus.
one is white. I
The
get it,
same way
but
how they eat
understand,
lunch, the
but
buildings, the
but, but
lockdown, the
understand that
bells. Hmm.
we as parents, we have our part to play.
We
And
do.
even if you say, okay, they spend more time in school and they spend at home, our duty is the time when they are at home for us to right the ship. That is our duty. And just like me and you, we spend more time in school than we spend with our parents. But you know what? We also had, like, you had your uncles, you had your aunts, you had your grandmother. Like, we have to understand that there's a full network that has to come into play. No, if you're one of these individuals that ostracize yourself from whoever, don't talk to me, child, don't this one, and then you gotta deal with it. It's simple. We have seen situations where people have been corrected and the mother jumping, don't talk to me, child, don't this, don't that. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
And then
happen.
15 years later, we look at me see, oh shoot, but this man get two bullets in your head. But then you start with it as well, maybe that opportunity where that person tried to say, hey, this. Instead of saying these things, they should have said, oh, you need to listen sometimes.
By a while. Anyway, I mean, conversation is a tough one, but we're supposed to be dropping off soon. So, Reese, you went to the Barry Salmon concert. How was it?
No, Beres was on fire. The one thing as we
Mm,
know, Beres is getting older. He's up in age, but he still
yeah.
delivered a dynamic performance. The voice is still there. The movement is a little lacking. He's getting older and stuff like that. He'd have had a situation where he would have fought cancer before and overcame that situation. But
Oh, Barry Salmon.
yeah, Beres had cancer. Um, but with that being said, I have seen some single mothers try their best, give their best. Also, no, and Marlene, you are correct. Some mothers try their best, and now that's why I said those who really try their best, and for whatever reason, we could respect them for whatever. But we're not going to just parents must be held accountable as well. But Barry had a real good performance, man. The lineup was good. The songs that he performed, the way that he performed them, Barry still got it. Vocally he still got it. The stage presence in there as much because he's not as mobile as he probably would have been years ago.
Mm,
But then the
mm,
band itself, the band does a lot of movement on stage. The guitarist come forward, the saxophone man come forward, and things. So it keeps your eyes away from the fact that the Bears probably ain't moving around as much. At one point, they brought out a chair for him to actually sit in, um, and stuff
really?
like that. So yeah, at one point they brought more like a stool. He was on a stool for a little while and stuff like that. Still singing and stuff like that. So you could see that there's a mobility issue. He's up there in age, but the voice, the voice of Beres is still powerful. It is still a powerful voice. So you got to respect it. So it was a great performance. Really enjoyed the show.
Okay. And we both went to Buju. I mean, I saw Beres a few years ago, and I could already see that decline in, as you mentioned. So I could only imagine what it's like now, because that was a good while back, And any chance you get to hear these icons, I think you should take it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, and this time around, mm, hey, but we also went and we saw Buju. We went to the Overcome concert, right? What's your first impression? What was your first impression of the Buju concert, and what was your last impression? And what do you think overall?
The first impression was, especially when he had Richie Feelings as his DJ,
Yeah,
prior to him coming on stage, and Richie Feelings performed a good set, very
hmm,
very interactive with the crowd. You know what I mean?
bad man, bad
Played a
like
lot
that.
of dancing music, so you get in a vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, you know, Even at one point, he had sound issue where I guess his laptop and the music wasn't coming out of the laptop, and he entertained the crowd by just singing to the crowd. You know what I mean? chant some Beanie Man and things like that. Get people involved and so some dancing music and thing. You know what I mean? People that are upon the river, upon the bank. You know what I mean? And then after that, Buju touched the stage. Buju touched the stage with one of the greatest intros that I have heard in many years. Straight up. One of the greatest intros ever. The intro, the band was tight on the intro. They had a video playing on the screens behind the band after during the intro. Great, great, great intro. You know, the first three songs was It's Not an Easy Road, Destiny, and Hills and Valleys. Come out the gate firing. Buju was on fire. You know, when show play some hits, you know what I mean? Road boy, don't be silly, you know what I mean? Things like that. But then he got into the spiritual part of it, and I think the spiritual part of it is where he lost me. I was kind of hoping for Buju to end with a more up vibe, you know what I mean? Kind of send us out and like a prayer vibe, you know what I mean? And there's a Sunday and Catholic church had mass and thing, but I didn't want to end like that, you know what I mean? I mean, he even sang Goodness of God from CC Winans, you know what I mean? He performed that song as well, you know, and then the Till Shiloh and stuff like that. But he sent us out with Psalms 23, and you know, really feel like, man, he should have done with Driver. Should have done with Driver.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm gonna say my piece. I agree with you. Share the same sentiments in the farmer and part of your whole breakdown, not the latter. The intro was spectacular. I guess we were already on a high per se from Richie feelings, you know. The man talented selector. And then he also did the intro, powerful intro. And then when Buju came in, the band, like you say, was tight. The music was clean. The visuals they were on point, you know. And the entrance, and then starting out with that conscious Buju, you know, that was amazing, spectacular. You know, there were some down parts of the performance where it's like, okay, you know, this could be over now. But you know, of course, Buju has hits, and you know, he would just drop in one of those hits, and you know, you get excited again. And I have a different feeling about the way how he ended the show. I appreciated the blessings on the way, you know. I get that feel of Psalms 23, a psalm of protection, a psalm of guidance for all those who are going to travel out there. Now, leaving, Reese and myself, we had to travel from Tampa back to Orlando. So I appreciated that. Reese just wanted to high on an end note. Reese wanted more. I appreciated the mellow and downturn because I think 2 songs before that was Driver, you know. So I enjoyed it. No, I wouldn't change it. Reese will. I would not. If I had to call Buju, I would say do that every single time. Every time you get the chance, send us home on Psalms 23. Yeah, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know what I mean? Hey, Reese, you have something else to say? We're gonna end it here.
No, we gotta cut it here because we got the next show coming up.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you each and every week. I just want to say shout out to the NAOCF, which is having its annual fish fry event on the 21st of September, right? So you got to check that out. We're going to be sharing that flyer next week or so. You know, also, you got to also check out Sexy Lee's promotions, always doing big things. You know, she's going to have her Independence Jam right there in New York. All of these you have to check out. So, I'm out. I ain't no more Reese.
Yeah, man. Blessings, everybody. Your guidance. You know what I mean? Blessings.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really need to think about who I give promotions to in this educational system, bro. It's doing detriment to the system.
We on the corner, man.
corner, man. With that real talk. We on the corner, man. With that real talk.